Durag Diaries, the Durag is back. Tottenham 2, Brentford 0. And finally, we get a home win that we have been waiting 3+ months for. Over 3 months we've waited to do this, to get a nice, competent, just comfortable win in our backyard. Like, we've been waiting so long for this. But I have to be honest, people. And you can call me negative for saying this, because we've seen some impressive performance yesterday, and we're going to get into all of that. But I can't take too much from this performance. This is Thomas Frank's former team, a team that he's very familiar with, a team that he should know better than anyone else, so setting up against them should not be tough. This is also a team of inferior quality, a team that you could just look at the squad and say, Spurs have a better squad than them. This is also a team who Spurs, at their worst last season, we finished 17th. We still managed to get 2 out of 2 wins against Brentford. I believe it was only them and Southampton, the only teams we done the double on last year. No other teams we done the double on, barring Brentford and Southampton. So that should let you know something. Brentford is not a tough game for us. Going into this game, many of us were hesitant to predict a win. Many of us was. I think off the back of our last couple of performances, none of these games filled you with any confidence to think that we were going to do something here. And you know what? I'm going to give it to Thomas Frank. He made some changes, started some players that people have been asking for in the right positions, and we looked a whole lot better. Tell me about it. I know you want to see it, but Xavi Money Sleeve Simons has arrived. The money sleeve has arrived, people. Xavi dropping a goal and an assist in a man of the match performance. Yeah. This is what we've been asking for. Sorry. This is exactly what I've been asking for from the manager. So far this season, whenever Xavi starts, we look so much better. This season, we have not won a game in which Xavi has not started. Let me tell you that again. We have not won a game in which Xavi has not started. With Xavi starting, 7 games, 4 wins, I think 1 loss and 2 draws. We look like a better team. The 2 wins that we've had without Xavi starting were before he joined the club. They're talking about Burnley and Man City. But every time he starts, we look like a better attacking team. The fluidity yesterday, the combinations. I can't even lie. I have to give it to Archie Gray. He was showing all 50 shades of himself, playing through the lines. Technically, the link up between him and Simmons was there. And I feel like I'll give it to Gray. This is what we've been missing in our midfield. We don't have a number 8 that can do the deep lying role. And I think Archie Gray has the IQ and the technical ability to play there. It's just the physicality that he lacks. But yesterday, we didn't have that problem. We were just better than Brentford in all facets of the game. I think we moved the ball quicker than them. We wanted it more better than them. We were much more physical than them. We were quicker on the ball. We were a lot more decisive. I felt like you can tell which Tottenham you're going to get within the first minute of the game. And within the first minute, we saw Spurs popping it around, 1-2 touch football in their half, moving it side to side, playing it forward. And from that moment, you just felt like, okay, this feels like this is the Tottenham we've been waiting for. This is the Tottenham that we've been wanting to see under Thomas Frank. And look, like I said at the start, I'm not going to take too much from this performance, but it was a much better game. Xavi himself, the goal that he made was just exactly what I wanted to see. Far too many times people have sat here and told me he's not physically ready for the Premier League. And I've agreed in some aspects. I feel like when it comes to the fitness and the pace of the Premier League and the intensity and how quick you need to make your decisions, he's struggled and he's had to adapt to that. But the actual physicality, being pushed around, being barged around, dueling with players is one thing that he hasn't had a problem with. And his goal epitomized every single bit of that. He lost the ball very quickly, turned around. He had 3 players surrounding him, by the way. He tried to pop it around, gets stuck in, wins it back from Van der Berg, and then just glides forward. Van der Ven settings. You could also say Gareth Bale against Norwich, if you know, you know. Just glides through the center of the pitch, all the space ahead in front of him, works his way into the box, and just finishes it in the bottom corner. And that's what I want to see from my number 10. People were telling me going into this game, oh, Dam's got this, Dam's got that. Talk to me about Xavi. Yeah? Talk to me about Xavi. Because this is what I wanted to see from him yesterday. The forward passing, the heat map. He was all over the pitch, making creation in the left half space, the right half space. And he was just being able to, having Gray playing the amount of passes he did forward, playing into the spaces, just allowed Xavi to sort of peel off the back of their midfielders and just find the gaps in the team where Henderson and Yarmolenko weren't covering. Yarmolenko was just fouling, just out there fouling our players. And do you know what? We have to give credit to the team. I think the players just looked a lot more sharp yesterday. Thomas Frank mentioned in the post-match press conference they had a really good training session. He was impressed with the structure, and the team really liked the way that we set up. And I think you could just see with the way that we played. Kolo Muani, yet again, really good performance out on that left-hand side. I just really like his work rate. He gets on the ball, he dribbles, he's always trying to get at his man. Probably should have scored a goal yesterday with a header straight at the goalkeeper. But again, I don't think it takes anything away from his overall performance because I actually think he was good yesterday. Richarlison is just inevitable at this point. Whatever we say about Richarlison, we can hate on him. I'm someone that hates and loves him, loves hate. We got one of those relationships. And as much as I get onto him, he's scoring goals for us right now. He is scoring goals, 7 goals this season so far. It's really not a bad return, managing to get himself into good positions, especially like the way we did on the counter yesterday. Xavi putting in a nice ball across the box, just making it really easy for Richarlison to tap it in. And Kudus was just all types of problems yesterday, all sorts of problems down that right-hand side. I could not keep up with him. But one person I was really impressed with their attacking work was Jed Spence. One thing we have got onto Jed Spence for this season is his a lack of the footballing gods told me to shut up there, blood. Nah, but in all seriousness, we've got onto him about his lack of attacking threat down that left-hand side. And Thomas Frank addressed it and said that he asked him to push up a lot higher, to be a lot more aggressive in the press. And this helped because he was winning the ball consistently down that left-hand side from Ouattara. And every time he did, it was causing problems for Coyote. The link up between him and Muani, but also Xavi coming out on that left-hand side to combine, just made us so dangerous down that side. And we looked a lot better. He obviously created one big chance himself, but was just wrapping up anything down that left-hand side. And to be honest, I generally don't remember Brentford, threatening our goal too much. Maybe had 1 or 2 shots, maybe right at the end of the game, may have had 1 or 2, but Vicario only had to make 1 save across the full 90 minutes. So, look, I think it was a good team performance. Bentancur, I can give it to him. And one thing that's really strange is, I suppose it's not strange. I think Bentancur plays better when on the ball, when he's got better technical players around him. He only lost the ball 5 times yesterday. Was pretty much all action across the midfield, sweeping up, laying it off, passing. And I think having Archie Gray next to him alleviates some of the pressure of him having to play forward because he knows technically Archie Gray is probably a little bit better than him. So Bentancur looks better. And even this is the last game that I've saw a similar lineup and similar performance was the Copenhagen game when we had Bentancur in the base of the midfield as well. I think Bentancur may have started with star of that game. I know it wasn't Archie Gray. I don't think it was. So definitely, I can't lie, Bentancur, I have to give some praise to him. But we just look better because the midfield structure was there. You choose players in their right positions. You ain't got no square pegs in round holes. And we look like a lot more balanced team. The midfield has a destroyer or a ball winner in Bentancur. You have a playmaker in Gray. And then you have the free roaming 10 in Xavi. The first time we presented a balance of that 3 in the midfield. And we looked a lot better. So hopefully we see this again, and I'd like to see similar lineup again in our next Premier League game. Slavia Praha on Tuesday. Again, not really a game that we could take too much from, an expected win, and I expect to see a couple goals in that one. The return of Sonny, hopefully, will be a nice game on that side of things as well. But look, it is Brentford. It was an expected win in that. looking at it from, if we take off away the form, you're expected to beat Brentford. So I'm not going to get too giddy or too gassed. So yeah, man, let's see, innit? Like, I'm still like, Thomas Frank can prove me wrong. And if we continue to play football like this, and I'll be like, yo, I'm Thomas Frank in again. But right now, I need to be convinced, and one game's not going to change my ideas on how the manager has been and the lack of identity and the selections. And we're going to see in the next game. Does he choose this team or does he change 5 players again? And then you're going to be like, oh, this is Thomas Frank doing Thomas Frank things. You know, similar to like what Pep does, what Enzo does, what Arteta does. Well, Arteta probably not so much anymore. When he first joined, definitely. But definitely Pep and Enzo, with the amount of changes they make in their lineups, it just gets confusing for us at times. And you're just like, what are they doing? Like, this is not good. But hey, look, we got the win. The Durag is back. And I am happy in it. I know some people thought, oh, Jords ain't going to upload because you won. You're negative. Nah. Just a little bit late. Allow me. But make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're liking, doing all that stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is this the turnaround that Spurs needed? The type of performance that can, you know, push us on into a better season ahead? Let's see, man. But God bless. Goodbye. Have a good